Out in the FOX61 Kitchen with Tyler Anderson, the executive chef at Millwrights in Simsbury. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
So excited to have you here. So I walked into the kitchen and I smelled the aroma of citrus, lemons. What do we have going on here?
So we're going to make a dish, one of the only dishes that's been on our menu since the start, since we opened 12 years ago, and it's chicken and dumplings. It's our take on chicken and dumplings.
Okay.
But instead of doing a more traditional southern style chicken and dumpling, we decided to church it up a little bit and make it a little chefy. So we're actually using gnocchi instead of a traditional dumpling. So we're going to make like a pasta dish.
Gotcha.
So we're treating it like we would an Italian pasta dish. To be honest with you, I don't know how to make traditional chicken and dumplings. I love it and it's delicious. So I took those flavors that I loved and sort of spun them into something that that I know how to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, I consider myself a bit of a Southern belle, having spent some time down south. So I'm very curious about your take on this.
And that's why I walk softly into the chicken and dumplings world, because I'm not trying to be traditional here, okay?
Okay.
So starting out with non-traditional, we're cooking it like pasta. So we have our gnocchi in water, and it's salted water. And I tell my cooks, season your water like it's a little bit salty soup. So you want salt in your water, but not too much. You don't want the ocean. You want like soup that's a little bit salty. And then here we have a roasted chicken stock. So we started our dumplings in that water, and now we put them in the chicken stock to let them get going. And it's, you know, we were just talking about it's fall, winter time, although the weather's not really telling us that on Thursday, huh? Scary warm, as they say here at FOX61. So we're gonna add some root vegetables, and the root vegetables are from the farms. We buy a lot from the farms around here. That's one of the reasons our restaurant is where it is in Simsbury. And so we have carrots, we have turnips, we have rutabagas, and those are all good fall things that we'll have all winter. A little bit of smoked chicken. To be honest, these are mushrooms.
That's all right.
I didn't know, but it's TV, right? Yeah, so let's pretend we're smoked chicken. Yeah, it's gonna be good. That's chicken, folks. All right. A little bit of Parmesan cheese, just because, you know, Parmesan cheese is delicious. And then a little bit of herbs.
Yes.
Just to add that. And now we're going to let that reduce and sort of like bring that down a little bit. It'll be colorful and delicious. And like hearty, you know, good for the winter time. Good for cold weather. Not good for scary warm days, but just don't have it on Thursday.
Although some folks, you know, they don't mind having soup when it's a little warm outside.
You're right. You're right. It's always heartwarming, right? Your heart always needs to be warm. Your body doesn't, right?
Yes.
So we're just going to reduce that down. It has a little bit of butter in it, and I'm going to add a tiny bit more. What the butter does is sort of thickens it up, makes it more unctuous, makes it delicious, and lets us sell it at a restaurant.
Love that.
So shake it around. And the butter will also thicken it up. So what happens is the starches from the pasta mix with the butter and thickens the sauce. You can see as it comes down, the bubbles are getting bigger.
Yeah.
And
this smells so good.
So what we want to do to cut the richness is I say two things to people who say, they say, how can I cook like a restaurant at home? Number one, add more salt, because we add a lot of salt. There's already some salt in there. And number two, add acid. So make sure you're balancing your fats with your acid, and that way it'll come through like a real restaurant dish. So our acid here is going to be lemon juice. It's my favorite. It's my favorite thing to use. It just freshens everything up against the richness, against the butter, against, you know, all of that. Helps us balance.
Oh, that smells so good.
And then we're going to shake, 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 and then we're going to go straight to our bowl.
Ooh.
And we can just actually dump it in there.
Okay, now if there's anyone who's not from the area, or they're just not familiar with Shipwrights, where are you guys located?
Shipwrights is a great restaurant in Mystic. A friend of mine, we're Millwrights, So we're Millwrights. We're in Simsbury, Connecticut. We've been there for 12 years. I own a few restaurants, and I've been out and about, but our executive chef just moved on to open her own restaurant, which is awesome for her. Check out the Laurel in West Hartford when it opens with Chef Ashley Flagg. But I've taken over as the executive chef again, so I'm back where I started, and it's very awesome. It's fun, and I love to cook, so I'm cooking there every day, almost every day, and we're having a nice time.
Yeah, it sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, this looks delicious. I can tell you the consistency and everything else looks
good for a fall day, right?
Yeah.
You know, if we had chicken in there, it'd be perfect, but you know, it's close enough.
All right, let's see if we can grab a.
Here, let me wipe this. Let me go like this for you.
Oh, okay. Yes, chef.
And then you're all set.
Here we go, the big spoon, y'all. All right.
You can get a few pieces of gnocchi with that spoon.
I'm gonna keep it cute for TV.
A little hot, yeah, a little
It's
hot.
a little hot. All right, let's see.
Warm.
That is delicious. A++. That's delicious.
Glad you
Wow.
like it.
I like your twist on it.
It's fun, right? Yeah, it's different. But it's like when you do take something as loved as a dish like chicken and dumplings, you have to make sure you're doing it justice,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And chefs like to play, right? We like to play with food. I like to play with food since I was a little kid, so we're always playing. But you can't lose the heart and soul of the dish that you're recreating, and I hope that I didn't here.
Yes, very delicious. This would be perfect for a nice cool day outside.
It would.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And you can check out the Tasty Eats over at Millwrights in Simsbury.
Or go to Shipwrights in Mystic. It's really good too.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you for having me.